But I was aware all the time that one had very little food and that we're in danger. So my parents made arrangements that if the Germans they were starting to be around, you could see them on the street, and whenever I saw them, I saw goose pimples. They were not the Nazis, they're soldiers, not the Nazis. And whenever they were near, I said, ooh. And so I was supposed to be hidden in the school with the other students. And I was given a little lunch, but it was really like watery soup, and they couldn't even give me that anymore. So some Jewish couple in town had me, and they had, again, watery soup and a little bread, and that's the whole day I took on that, and I was growing. So I was famished all the time. And we raised rabbits because they grow so fast, but we're supposed to eat them and kill them, but I couldn't eat them, and they were my pets, and I went looking for dandelion with them, and we ate dandelion. We didn't have any papers that we could leave, but they were they had been sent out and all, but nothing happened. So my mother kept working at it, and one day when I was meeting my father in the park after school, she came with a paper in her hand, and she said, look, and there was a permission to leave. And so, on one hand, we were very relieved, and on the other hand, I felt French. I was 13 and 3/4. My brother wanted to serve in the French army, but they didn't let him. My father liked France, the nice French people, and in school, my teachers all came to say goodbye, and they cried and said they're so ashamed. Such a nice family, such a nice girl is leaving, but maybe have a better education in America. But they were really upset, and we were all upset. So, but we were forced to leave. So then it was still quite a few difficult steps to get some more papers from the American embassy, some real scares we had. We were arrested by the French police, and my father, who, as I said, sensitive and scared, he was just like saying, that's it now, we're going to be turned over to the Germans, because he always dramatized. He also used to be an actor and director of theater. So my mother used to say, don't, we have kids and so on. He just acted out his fears. And finally we got on a boat, but to get on the boat you had to pass the French police and the Germans now. And we all thought, oh my God, now we'll really be pulled out and sent to concentration camp. And my mother always said that if she was caught, since she would die anyway, she would kill herself, or she would kill them and then they would kill her. She's that kind of a person. She probably would have done it. By some miracle, we got onto the boat, and it was a small, like a freighter, and it was a French boat because it was wartime, and so it had to be a French boat, and we went to Casablanca through Gibraltar. And I enjoyed certain things because I was curious. I love geography, so I looked at whatever I could look at, and I was glad to be with my family. But when I got to Casablanca, we were all picked up by some minibuses and brought to this casino where we were all kept. We couldn't just be in a hotel or so, besides we had no money. I got very, very sick in that place from flies going in my nose and my ears and having a lot of food exposed. Like, we hadn't eaten hardly anything, and they gave us so much food there. So I had such a big fever that me and another girl, the parents felt we should get out of the place and we might get contagious, or so they called the hospital in town. And they said they could get us if we would accept that they would make believe. We only had real bad sore throats, but they would have to say that we had a contagious disease, and they picked us up by ambulance. So I went there, and there was a lot of war victims too, and they treated us like if we had diphtheria and gave us horse serum, and then I got really sick. And then the little girl that was with me, she was maybe 4 years younger, she was sweet, but I don't think she was aware that one can't go on board of a ship if one is sick. And I was aware, and so I used to suffer so much from the pain of the serum, but also, oh my God, I should tell my parents to go in any case, and I just should stay behind, but where? And if they stayed, we might all get killed still by the Germans. So it was a terrible time. And somehow I just barely made it onto the ship. And my father's brother was in Spain, and then he was left to go to America. And they had some kind of very bad connection between the two brothers. So he didn't help to save us. And when we arrived, we didn't arrive like people waiting for you and helping you. We didn't have anybody. So one of the Jewish organization, Hayas, I think it's called, picked us up and brought us to temporary housing. On the boat was very dangerous took 6 weeks because of mines and things like that. And it was not the French boat, it was a neutral boat called the Nyasa, it was the last trip because it was in 42. It was already very, very late.